All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with just a little bit in case for anyone that hasn't ever been to one of these Sunday energy updates. The Sunday energy updates is a time for me to go over what is going on with the energy for the week coming up. So, what can we do to help ourselves feel better, to help ourselves advance and move forward in this energy that's coming up this next week? Now, this week is a pretty big week. As I just mentioned a few minutes ago, it is the week of the inauguration. So, what is the inauguration? It's obviously where the new president is sworn in, and there's a ceremony and all that kind of stuff. So, with all of that, uh, there is a shift that happens within the collective. So this shift is it's not just a kind of a subtle shift; it's a big shift of energy that happens. So whoever's sworn in or whoever is brought in with this ceremony, that energy is shifted. So once that person is brought in, it's kind of like the energy of the country at least and the world is shifted. So I'm going to touch on that in just a second, but I will start with something. The first thing that came in to me, and that was our energy this week is going to be pretty dense, almost like basically they're encouraging people to allow yourself to look into many outlets within your energy. And what I mean by that is it's almost like you have this week especially you're going to have a cocoon over your energy of this dense negative energy. And in order to break through that, you have to find the weakest point of that energy. The weakest point is the easiest flow state that you can be um, in life right now. So the best thing that I can say is if you're feeling that dense energy, because not everyone is going to feel it, but some are. If you're feeling that dense energy, it's best to try to take different paths. Try to take different paths in your immediate reality, and by taking these different paths, it will break through that dense energy. And once you do, you're going to have um, this big enlightenment or this big burst of freeing, bright, beautiful energy that is going to help propel you forward through this week. So basically removes that crusted, nasty energy and allows for you to feel nice, clean, and fresh and move forward in your life throughout this week. I do expect for that to stay or to occur for some, not everyone, throughout this week coming up. So if you're feeling stuck, allow yourself to move through different paths, different pathways, and find which one feels best for you, and that will break you out of that negative energy that's kind of cocooned around you. All right, so let's see. All right, so kind of what I was talking about with the president swap that's happening tomorrow. with with that swap, with that ceremony, with that ritual, whatever you want to call it, there is a shift of energy that happens. We can all feel it. We can feel it coming at least. And when it happens, we can feel it. That's why when there's a new president, there's this energy that happens immediately after the inauguration. And yes, it can be, it can feel certain ways because of their actions and what they're doing and so on. But there is an energy shift that happens. So it's almost kind of like jumping timelines, like shifting timelines from this timeline to that timeline. And this is what's happening. So with the energy from this ceremony that's happening tomorrow, what's going to happen is many people are going to be brought, not many people, the energy of the collective is going to be one of doing. Now, what I mean by this is it's not like I don't know, we're all going to become busybodies and stuff, but what's going to happen is there's going to be this energy of I need to get my stuff done. I can get my stuff done myself. And what's going to happen is people are going to transition from expecting someone else to do for us into an energy of I'm going to do for myself, and I'm going to allow myself to move forward and do that thing that needs to be done. Now, I want to give a warning with that. When we move into this type of energy, because all of us move into this type of energy regardless of president or collective consciousness, we've all moved into this. The warning here is don't allow yourself to get into a forcing energy. A forcing energy is an energy where you try to force everything because you're going to feel that underlying collective energy of doing. Don't confuse that with feeling like you need to force things, because you don't. It's important for you to take an action step and understand the difference between forcing energy and productive energy. There's I tell this story all the time, and I'll tell it for the rest of my life because it's an important lesson and an important story. In real estate, I'm a real estate agent, and I had like 9 deals on the board. Everything was going great. I was like, this is a good time for me to start cold calling, to start sending out flyers, and to start really, really hitting the ground running. And I did, and all 9 of those deals fell through. And then I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. I surrender. I am done with real estate. This is just too much. And that day, literally 4 people called me and said, hey, I want to sell my house, or hey, I want to buy. And I was like, okay, cool. So then fast forward another month or so, I had like 12 to 14 deals on the board. And I was like, this is it. This is, I'm doing it. Now's the time that I should really start pushing, really start forcing things. And I did. And a lot of those deals fell through. And I was like, what the heck? And then I realized that I'm not meant to force that. I'm meant to allow it to flow. I'm meant to allow it to happen. And when I do, when I get into that surrendering state of trusting the universe, trusting the process, that's when things start going good. That's when everything starts going right and everything starts to flow. So watching your energy language is what I call it, is going to be very, very important moving into this next week. Don't allow yourself to move into a forcing energy. Allow yourself to move into a productive energy. But if you feel like you're forcing things, or you feel like you're starting to hit all kinds of roadblocks, don't keep trying to plow forward. Take a step back, take a breath, and allow yourself to move forward with subtle energy. And it's funny, I just had a session this morning and this came up, and it's funny that it came up and it's something that I was channeling. So allow yourself to move forward without forcing. And one last thing I'll say about that is when we feel like we need to do something, we should always take an initial step to doing that. And then we should allow things to flow in that direction. Because as soon as you say, I want to, that thing that you're wanting to is already created. You're already doing that thing in some reality. And there's a string of energy that goes from you out into that situation that you're wanting to do. So you just fill in the blanks there with the experience of leading up to that. So allow yourself to take that productive step and that action step and move towards whatever it is that you feel like you need to do. But with this shift tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of energy of feeling like you need to do stuff. All right. Now, I also want to talk about the TikTok stuff. And I'm not going to get into like the political part of it. I'm going to get into, obviously TikTok was banned. And there's some people that may watch this and think, I don't give a crap about TikTok. I don't use it. Doesn't matter to me, whatever. And then there's others that are like, this is my life. Like, I use it to make money and I use it to make content and so on. The first thing that I want to say is when I wrote this down, I wrote that TikTok's going to be reinstated very shortly. And it only lasted a day. Not even a day. Excuse me. But the most important thing to understand is that TikTok going dark, understand that the universe works in divine timing. Because when TikTok went dark and it went offline, there were thousands and thousands of people that were like, what do I do? And I'm not talking about like, what do I do? I can't scroll and look at videos. I'm talking about the people that use TikTok for income or use it to express themselves, or the people that use it for informational purposes like recipes or just, I don't know, things like that. It forced all of them, all of us, to take a look at reality, take a look at things in perspective of this is gone. Now what do I do? And what happened as a collective that sparked this doing energy. Again, that's the energy that we're moving into this week and with this president change. So all year as well, but in particular this week. But it moved us into a what do I do now? And that piqued this creative energy that happened in the collective. And everyone was feeling that. It's not just the people that were like, oh, what do I do? It was the people that are like, I don't care about TikTok. They're feeling it too. And there's this energy that's going to rise up and say, we need to create. We need to get creative, and we need to take control of our own reality and not rely on something else. And that is something big that happened with the TikTok stuff. Now, so what's going to be happening with that is that did this immediate boost of creativity, this immediate boost of I need to create, I need to take things into control, and that will snowball into a lot of creative energy. So in reality, the TikTok thing was good for that reason. There's another layer to it that I'm going to get into in a second, but it was good for that reason, and it helped boost a lot of creative juices and a lot of inspiring juices within us. And yeah, I'll leave that at that. So just understand though that it did help boost a lot of things in that aspect. Um, all right, let me see. So this week is a week that, um, man, and I don't want to get myself in any trouble with saying this because I'm not picking sides on I'm not picking political sides, because this day and age in America, you can't do that because you will get in a lot of trouble from your followers or from people that are your friends or family and so on. So you can't say, you know what, I think this is going to be a good idea, or you know what, I think this is a bad idea. You can't say that nowadays. So I have to tiptoe around it. But what I will say is that I have been shown that America, in particular, the world in general, is getting ready to move into a kind of like a I don't know, just a good time is what America is going to be moving into. Now, I don't mean a good time for I see, I can't even go into that. It's gonna be good. There's gonna be a lot of good things that are gonna happen moving forward, especially in America, starting tomorrow. And that is not just because, President Trump is there. It's because of the shift that is happening. There is a big energy shift happening. And this is not just on a government level or even a collective consciousness level. This is on a universal scale energy level. This has been in the works for a long time. So there's going to be a big shift. There's going to be a lot of good things that are going to happen starting tomorrow. With that being said, you starting tomorrow, again, not because of the president shift, or not because of the new president, but because of the energy shift. Starting tomorrow, you are going to be in creation land, creation zone, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to explain this really useful, I don't know how to, theory, or not even a theory, this very useful illustration of how things work for us energetically with manifesting and so on. I was shown this one time that our energy, when I say, like, let's just say right now I'm sitting in a bubble. I'm sitting in a bubble and I've created this bubble exactly how I want. I have this job, I have this relationship, I have this thing, whatever. I'm in this bubble. And then I say, you know what? I think that I want to do this. I kind of just explained this a second ago, and sort of. I say, I want to do this. Well, then it's like I stick, let's just say that it's like that bubble. Let's say that you stick what the heck am I trying to say? A toothpick. There we go. A toothpick into this bubble, and it doesn't burst. Don't get too technical on me here. But you stick the toothpick in the bubble, and then that toothpick, like a bright white light, is like a honed in shot of energy going to another bubble. So you say, I want to do this, and then that toothpick establishes, and it comes out of one bubble and goes to the next bubble. That next bubble is when you're done doing that, and you have accomplished that. So what happens is then your energy, instead of being out and vast and like you can create whatever you want and so on, when you say I want to do this, your energy the energy around you shrinks in, and not shrinks, but it hones in. And your guides, the universe, God is like, all right, we are making this happen. We are going to shoot you straight in this direction, and we are going to make this happen the way that it's supposed to happen. And when that occurs, you're now in this concentrated energy heading towards that next bubble. You're no longer in the creative bubble. You are in the getting stuff done bubble. So then you start learning, and then you start pursuing this thing and so on. Some toothpicks are longer than others depending on what it is that you want to do. And that's why when we say, I think I want to do this, or I want to take this path, that's why we start to see all those synchronicities. And we start to see those signs that say, hey, you should do this. This is what you should do. And so on. So let's fast forward. So then that toothpick from one bubble to the next is the experience of getting to that next bubble. If we didn't have that experience, there would be no contrast as to how we got to where we got. So we have to experience that contrast. We have to experience the experience. Then we get into the next bubble, and then we're like, aha, I got it. Now I'm here. Now I can create whatever I want because I have no, I'm going here or there or there. I'm here. I'm present. I'm in the now. And I can do whatever I want within this bubble of energy that I'm in. That is where we are at as a collective right now, starting tomorrow, not just because of the president, but because of the energy shift. You can take the president out of it, and we would still be in this energy. So now we're in this energy of this bubble of we can create whatever we want to create as a collective. And what toothpick are we going to shoot out? And that's just kind of where it's at right now. So as a collective, we have the opportunity to send this energy in whatever direction we want to send it in, and that's just where it's going to go. On a personal level, this is a good energy for you to send a toothpick out, to send that energy out to whatever you want to do, to manifest, if you want to put it that way, whatever you want to manifest. So send that energy out and start working towards whatever it is that you want to manifest, and start to realize when you're in the toothpick or when you're in the bubble, because that will help you with that forcing energy. And a little bit off topic, but it's on topic, but it's a little bit straying further into that theory or into that illustration. Something to understand: if you're a person that's like, you know what, I think I want to do this, but I also want to do this, and now I'm going to do this too, and I'm going to do that as well. Well, then you have a bunch of toothpicks coming off of one bubble, and you have a lot of energy dispersed moving in all of those directions. Now, that confuses your energy. That depletes your energy. That's why when we take on too many things at once, our energy gets depleted because we're sending too much energy out, and we need to be careful with how many toothpicks we're sending out into bubbles. And then the bubbles combine, and if we do two different things, we meet here, we have that bubble, and then we go out this way as well, and then that bubble's established, and we have a toothpick that goes between the bubbles and links the bubbles. A lot there, but I don't want to get that far into that. I'm just trying to give you the idea. So that's that. All right, and let me see. So I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week, but life in general is going to feel a little bit out of our control. And we have to trust that while we may feel out of control, we are fully on our divine path and being sent exactly where we need to go. So don't doubt where you're headed right now. It's going to feel like maybe or it could feel like, I don't really know exactly where I'm going, but trust that the universe, your higher self, knows exactly where you're going. All right, couple more things. Let's see. So, one thing I did see is that this week there's going to be a lot of energy from the moon. Now, I'm not one that really follows the full moons and where the moon's at, where Mars is at, where, like, I don't do that much. Um, the only time I check on the moon is when I feel the moon's energy interacting with me or the collective on a very big scale, or not like on a enhanced scale. So this week, I feel like the moon is going, I don't know if there's a full moon or anything like that, and it doesn't matter if there is or not. There's going to be a lot of energy that's coming from the moon, and that energy is actually going to be pulling us upward, pulling our energy upward. It's almost acting as like gravitational pulling from the moon, and almost like if the moon got really close to the Earth, and just threw off the gravitational pull. I don't know, but either way, this week, it's a very good idea to make sure that you are doing a lot of grounding. Grounding can be done by visualizing roots coming out of the bottom of your feet, going down into the earth deep down, and just feeling nice and rooted and grounded. Or a root coming out of your tailbone deep down into the earth, that works as well. Or walking outside barefooted. I don't care if there's snow on the ground. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't. I don't blame you either way. But walking barefooted outside helps a lot. If you got a grounding, if you have a grounding mat or a grounding sheet, you can get one of those, and that helps you with grounding and feeling, giving you that feeling of groundedness, because we need to be able to feel like we are present on earth and not being taken upward. So that is going to be something that's going to happen. And then lastly, moving forward with this inauguration and all this stuff, I have my own opinions on it. I have my own likes, my own dislikes, and I have all that, just like everyone else does and is entitled to. With that being said, there's a group of people, there are groups of people that are scared and fearful for what's happening tomorrow. This president getting in and things just going haywire and so on. And that's okay that you're scared about that. Well, it's not okay. Your feelings are valid, but we want to move forward trying not to be in fear, because another layer to the TikTok thing, the fear that was developed by making that band yesterday, weirdly enough, yesterday, 2 days before the inauguration happens, TikTok gets banned, and so many people are that fear set in of, oh my gosh, or oh my gosh, it's gone and I can't make an income, or oh my gosh, I can't express myself on there, oh my gosh, I can't watch cooking recipes. And then there's the group that says, oh my gosh, they can just take away an app like that and censor our free speech. And so it hit a lot of different people. And then that's fear. And who feeds off of fear? The elite bad people. I'm not going to try to get too weird on everyone, but the elite bad people feed on fear. And what better way to get fear started by doing something like that? And then you have the inauguration that's happening, and now all those groups that are fearful in that nature. So there's a lot of fear, and what I'm seeing is it is being encapsulated, and it is being harnessed, and it is also being stored. Now that's the part that I'm like, because the energy is being stored, almost like the negative entities to be are going to be going in like hibernation mode for I don't know how long. And that is what is making me scratch my head a little bit, because they're harnessing it and storing it to be used over time. And there was this last shebang to get this fear, and I don't know if they are or were going to try to use it tomorrow in some way, shape, or form. And then it was, now everybody has TikTok, so some of the fear is gone, but there's still, I don't know that. But what I do know is there was a reason for that fear, and it's being encapsulated. So it's important for everyone to move forward regardless of TikTok, regardless of Facebook, regardless of president, regardless of whatever. Move forward without being in fear. And I feel like this whole year so far I've been preaching that. And that's not just me like, hey, don't live in fear. That is something that is coming up every single time I've channeled what is the energy for this week moving forward. So, with that being said, move forward with no fear. And I know it's like, well, if you're scared, how do you move forward with no fear? One of the best ways you can do that is putting your faith in the universe, God, your guides, angels, whatever makes you feel comfortable, Jesus, whatever you feel like you can put your faith in. Put faith into that it is going to, that everything is working out the exact way that it needs to, and that you agreed to come down and live in this time period, and it's nothing that you can't handle. And move forward without that fear, because when you do, it does not feed the negative entities or beings, no matter where that lies. I don't know if it lies on the Trump side or the Biden side. My point of view with that is that there is a puppet master that is puppet mastering both sides of, or all sides of everything, not just Republican, Democrat, all sides of everything. And I think that the Republicans think they're really battling the Democrats. And I think that there is this war going on between them, but the elites already know what's going on and they already have a plan in place. So I'll have more on that by the end of this year, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that happens, and it won't just be me saying it's going to happen, and then people saying that I'm siding with one side or the other. I'll touch more on that later, but it's going to be really good and really interesting to see. And Anne says, my motto is no worry, no fear. Has worked very well for me. Yes, I agree. And one of the biggest rebuttals with that is just that people were like, well, I mean, yeah, you say don't worry, don't be in fear, but how do you not worry about something that you're worried about, or be fearful about something that you're fearful about? And the biggest advice that I've grown to give anyone is to find faith in something. That's why a lot of people that find faith in Jesus or God or the Bible or whatever, they have this way about them that's like, I don't worry about anything. I mean, for me, I trust in God. I trust in Jesus. I trust in my spirit guides. I trust the universe. I trust Mother Earth. I trust all the elemental, I trust all of it, that it's all working in divine time, because there's been too many times in my life that things have happened that, and not just to me, but in the collective, that has obviously been for a reason. And I think that everything is happening for a reason all the time. I mean, down to if we stub our foot, we want to look at, why did I stub my foot 2 times in one day? I haven't stubbed my foot in 3 months or a year or whatever. Why did I stub it 2 times in one day? Is the universe trying to tell me something? Is my body trying to tell me something? And quick fun fact, in case you don't know, if your toe's getting stubbed or you're hitting your shoulder walking into a room, look at what side it's on. For me, and for most people, the right side represents the masculine energy, the physical side of things, the father side, and then the left side is the mother side, the feminine side, the spiritual side, and the emotional side. And you would just say, all right, I'm stubbing my right toe. What is it trying to tell me? Well, I look at that as my guides, my body, the universe is trying to tell me that I need to look at what is going on, or something that is going on in the physical realm of things. So then I'll say, what do I need to look at on the physical realm of things? And then I'll be shown, or I'll have a thought about it. And because we all get busy and we all aren't always tapping into our spirit guides or to God or the universe saying, hey, what do we need to do in this moment and whatever. Sometimes we get busy and we don't tap in that often, and they have to get our attention some way, shape, or form. That's the same way as like if you need to slow down and you're not listening, your guides will make you sick, or your guides will make you sprain your ankle or something, or whatever, to get you to slow down. So yeah, I forget what the heck I'm even talking about. All right, so Michelle, you are very welcome, and thank you for being here and commenting and making me feel like I'm actually talking to people and not just my camera. It's nice when everybody comments because then I know because my like what I've noticed on here is it says right now like I have 2 viewers, but then afterwards, after I'm done, I'll get like 10 people that message me and say, Josh, thank you so much. That was amazing. And I'm like, well, hold on. There was 10 people watching, but there was only 2 people that registered or that was showing that it was that they were watching. So sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to myself. So thank you for coming in and making me not feel lonely and like I'm by myself. Um, so with all that being said, this week moving forward, move forward with no fear. Move forward with a sense of productive doing. Don't force things, and allow yourself um, to break out of that hard energy that's going to be happening. That you're going to feel like you're in, and there's um, just basically right now is going to be a good time to tap into the collective wave. If we look at that, you know, when we jump into the collective wave of things, so let's just say let's switch a little bit. If we look at advertising, so in a lot of advertising, they say jump onto a popular subject. So when the UFO things was going on, everyone was and it still is going on, but when it was first started going on, everyone was jumping onto the UFO things. Right now, the inaugurations happen, everyone's jumping onto that. You jump on to the hot topics and you get a lot more traffic and you have a lot more success. Well, it's the same way when you look at the energetic realm of things. If right now is a good time for doing and the collective energy is a collective energy of doing, if you jump into that, you're just getting on the jet stream and you're just flowing with that energy. And it makes it easier for you to do. And that's what I love about this Sunday energy update, because I get to say, hey, this week, this is the energy that I'm feeling coming up. Do with it what you will. And if you do something with it, you're going to be able to ride that wave. And if you don't, it's okay. Just do you. It is what it is. But that's just what I like about it. So, and also, I say these are the energies for the week. And I mean, I don't know if it's for this week necessarily or for the next 2 weeks, the next 2 months, or the whole year. I just know right now is when it starts, and that's what I'm bringing to everyone. And yeah, so if anyone has any other questions or any questions, put it in the comment. I have a few things I want to say really quick. Actually, a really big announcement that's already announced on my Facebook page, but I love that, Ann. That's awesome. Yes, I'm right there with you. I am too. I've been in a little bit of a whoosh period where I'm just hibernating and not really feeling doing anything, to be completely honest. Not in a lazy way. Like I've been doing a lot, but I haven't been feeling like doing anything with getting people together and just, which is what that's what I absolutely love to do. But now, over the past week, it has really kicked in, and I'm like, I am ready. I am ready to get this stuff going again. And honestly, I just think that that's just waves. I work with many different practitioners, and anyone that's in here that's a new practitioner or hasn't really been doing it for a living or doing it for a long time, uh, you're going to run into times when you feel like you need the rest, and you have to navigate that. I took it a little bit more extreme, and I was at rest for about 2 months now, or a month and a half, or whatever. But learn how to rest and learn how to recoup and learn how to take a breath and continue to move forward. So anyway, I am trying to remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so every Monday now. So I used to do Monday meditation, and it was great. I mean, I did it for freaking 3 years, I think, 3 or 4 years. I think it was 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, something like that. And it was amazing. But it was just losing its steam, and I just felt like there's only so many meditations that you can come up with. And I mean, I know there's a ton of meditations you can do, but over 3 years, every Monday, it kind of just felt like I was just redoing the meditations, which I was, which is okay. But I don't know, it just got burnt out to me, and I felt like it was losing its steam with me and with others. This summer I was coming in and I was getting like one person that would come in, and that's fine. If one person wants to come in, that's cool, but I also just moved like 8 to 10 chairs into the room and set up the room and took time out of my day to come there to do that meditation, and then to just get one person that came there. It's great conversating with them, and most of the time it was a real deep conversation and some learning that happened. But I'm trying to reach many people, and I want to have something that feels really good. So something that came into my mind was I wanted that, and it kept coming into my mind, is I wanted to do a energy share circle or a drumming circle or something along those lines. And as I walked through Melissa's Reiki share circles on Tuesdays, she does it every Tuesday, so she's still going to be doing it on Tuesdays. I'll be doing it on Mondays, and who knows, we might add another day because it's popular and people love it, and it's good for you and good for us for the healing aspect. But I would walk by and I would just feel the collective energy of the room, and I was like, man, that just affirms that I do want to do that, and it does feel really good. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing every Monday. We're going to come in and we're going to talk about this Sunday update. We're going to just talk about it. I'm going to kind of go over it a little bit, and then we're just going to have an open talk about it, and then a talk about whatever we need to. I'll give, like, I don't know, however much time it pans out to be for us all to talk. Then we're going to do some energy healing on each other, or some drumming, or some mediumship, or whatever people need at that time. We're just going to do it. It's going to be a time, an hour or so for healing, and we're just going to heal. We're going to let things be and just let go. And that is something that you can do every single week without it getting old, really, because you come in and you're going to be shedding things and you're going to be healing and cleansing. So I'm looking really forward to that. And I think I'm going to make a video on that within the next like week or so, because it starts not this Monday, but next Monday, I believe. So it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be really, really good. And it's going to be in person. So it's going to be at the center, because we're going to be doing that so we can lay hands on each other or hover over each other and just really get intimate. I don't think there's necessarily going to be a place for it to be online at this time. But if that does ever come along, I would love to do that. I did think about doing the meditations, like making that live when I was doing that, but it never happened either. It's just a lot to set all that up and then include the person on the screen as well. So, but anyway, that's happening starting next week. So super excited about that. And other than that, I have my usual spiels of, in the comments, I have a donation thing if anybody wants to donate. And I have my YouTube channel. This will be uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch it at any time. And all my past ones are uploaded to YouTube as well. And then I have a link for my chakra bonding class that's online. I think, I don't even know how many people's taken it at this point, between like 10 and 20. And everyone that has taken it is like, this, we love it. And it's great because I can go at my own pace and so on. So that link is there if you want to do it. Now, also with that, I keep saying that I'm getting ready to have an intuition building one that I'm going to be putting out. And I am. But I've been sick for the past week, and I haven't been able to work on it. My whole family has COVID right now, and I'm feeling much better. Everyone's feeling much better for the most part, but my wife had it really bad, and she's been down and out. So even though I started to feel better a few days ago, I'm taking care, or not taking care, I'm staying at the house and trying to make sure that I am helping her as much as I can, basically. So I'm going to be working on that, and it's about another week or so out. But I will have that intuition building class going, and I'm going to create a whole bunch of different classes on a whole bunch of different things on that online academy, and it's going to be fun. And it's going to be good. I think that's it. I think that's all that I have to say right now. So, yeah, that's it. So thank you all for watching today, and I hope that you all have an amazing week. And make sure that you're you're taking the advice that was given today and just following your own intuition moving forward, and everything's going to be great and everything's going to flow and go exactly how you need it to go. All right, I will see you all next Sunday.